Today I'm going to show you how to fix a problem that's very common in some of the GM factory stereos. I was hitting bumps on the road and the stereo would start switching back and forth randomly between auxiliary input mode, radio mode, and CD. And it took me a while to figure out that if you agitate the auxiliary plug that's in the front of the unit, you can repeat the problem. So I knew there must be a loose connection in there. Unfortunately, it's a simple fix, but we have to take the stereo out. So we're going to need some pry bars to get this trim piece out. The trim piece is held on by 9 push tabs, and I'll show you their exact location in a second, because if you can get your pry bar close to those push tabs, you'll reduce your chances of damaging anything. And now you've got 8 7mm bolts, so we're going to use a 7mm socket, and the way these head units are put in is they overlap on the mounting bracket, so you have to start from the bottom removing them. And so that's what we're going to do. And I won't make you sit through all of this. I'll go ahead and speed up a little bit. Once you get the bolts off for the bottom head units, we can go ahead and slide those out of the way. And now there's 4 more bolts holding the stereo in place, and that's what we're going to be removing to repair. And once we slide that out, you'll see on the back there's just 4 plugs holding it in. They're pretty straightforward. You've got the antenna here, you've got the USB, and then you've got the audio plugs, and there's little thumb releases. They come out pretty easily, and don't worry about what they look like because they only go in one way. So when it comes time to put the thing back in, it's pretty easy, and obviously that's your USB right there. So once we get all 4 of these off, we can put it in the shop where we can work on it. And the first thing we have to do is pull the face of the unit off. And there's just 6 little pressure tabs that are holding it in place. Be careful with these. You don't want to break them, of course. They're the only thing holding it on. And just a standard flat blade screwdriver can be used to unlock them. And once you get those unlocked, the whole face of the unit will pop off. It here made life a whole lot easier for removal of these screws, but if you don't want to buy one or you don't have a mini socket, I'll just show you. You can certainly do it with needle nose pliers. It's just going to take a little bit longer for you. And once you get the screws out, there's still 4 of the lock tabs that are still holding the back of the faceplate in place. So once you release those, you can go ahead and lift the back away and see the circuit board. And I'm kind of holding it together because there's a couple of parts in there I'll show you in a minute, but this is the culprit. This is your auxiliary plug right here. And you can see that it's loose, but unfortunately we can't see where it's soldered to the circuit board yet. We need to pull this back off. And don't be intimidated. These plastic pieces are just light plates. They only go on one way, so what they do is they sit next to these little white powerful LEDs, and these LEDs just fill these plates with light, and the plates distribute the light to multiple points for your display. And this is what one of the LEDs looks like. So once you get those out of the way, you can see here, I'm going to give you a close-up. Now we can see where the feet of this auxiliary plug have broken, and you can see the little cracks. Well, what's happening when that jiggles around, it's sending false signals to the controller to switch from radio mode to CD mode, and unfortunately it makes it a little tough for listening in the car. The fix is super easy. As you can see, it's just a fast resolder of those 4 feet that are holding it to the circuit board. And now we can test it, and of course it's very strong. So now we just have to put things back together. One little hint, there are alignment tabs here on the large knob. You want to make sure that those are aligned, and once they are, it will slide right into place. And as I mentioned, the light plates only go on one way, so that's very straightforward installation. There's only 3 of them. And because this whole controller faceplate plugs on to the head unit, I'm going to go ahead and make sure those plugs are cleaned up too. So first we're going to snap the back on, and you'll see that it just, you can hear it snap into place. So even without the small screws, it holds together fairly well, but we're going to go ahead and put those screws back in now as well. I'll speed through this a little bit so you don't have to sit through it all. Okay, so the screws are all in, and I'm going to clean up that main plug. I'm just going to use a little bit of a dressing here on a Q-tip. I'm just going to clean the plug and where the plug goes into the main head unit. Just gives a slightly better connection. Now we're ready to put that back on the head unit. There's a lot of alignment dowels. Just make sure everything is lined up before you push it home. And you'll hear it snap nicely. Great, that looks good. We're ready to put it back on the vehicle. So again, we've got our 4 plugs. I won't make you sit through that. Again, those plugs only go on one way. So I fast forwarded through putting those on. There's a large alignment dowel. Just make sure that you get that correct where it plugs into the vehicle dash. And now you can put your screws back in. And we can speed through that a little bit as well. You've got 4 screws that are holding the stereo head unit in. And again, just like we removed it, it has to go a certain order. So we start from the top and work our way down. So now we're getting the HVAC unit put in, and now we'll get the head unit below that in place. And we've got the trim piece, of course, with the 9 tabs. Make sure you get the tabs lined up, and then it just presses in place. And we'll go ahead and give it a test. It's in radio mode now, but you'll notice as soon as I put the plug in, it correctly goes to auxiliary input mode, and it plays music just fine. Well, if this helps you guys out, please do give a thumbs up and subscribe for future videos. And if you know anybody else trying to do this, please do share this video. Thanks for watching.